The New York Islanders missed the 2022 Stanley Cup playoffs by 16 points last season, a seemingly huge mountain to climb for a team that struggled mightily last year. A return to the playoffs appears all the more difficult considering at the time this is being written, General Manager Lou Lamoriello has only upgraded the defense so far this offseason when he's traded the team's 13th overall pick in the 2022 draft for Alexander Romanov. The lack of offseason movement is concerning as the rest of the Metropolitan Division has improved and the Eastern Conference looked to be more crowded around the playoff bubble. It's difficult to ignore that number, which is 16. Is it insurmountable? How can the Islanders find 16 points in the standings? The answer is goaltender Semyon Varlamov. Before we get too far, yes, the Islanders need to add another piece to their forward group and need their veterans to find the back of the net more consistently. You won't find an argument against both of those, and a continued lackluster summer is unacceptable. However, looking at Varlamov's numbers, specifically the straightforward wins and losses, his 10-17-2 record is a huge reason the Islanders couldn't fight their way back into the playoff conversation. Like the team in front of them, there are plenty of valid reasons this past season was difficult, coming off an injury sheaf among them. For the 2022-23 season, the Islanders need Varlamov to return to his numbers from both the 2019-20 season and the 2020-21 season, 19-4-6 and 39 starts in the 1920, and then 19-11-4 and 35 starts in the 2021. Varlamov's partner, youngster Ilya Sorokin, has proven he can carry the majority of games moving forward, starting 52 last season to Varlamov's 29, and doing so in spectacular style considering the team in front of him on most nights. The Islanders would ideally be aiming to start Varlamov about the same number of games in the upcoming season as they did in the 21-22 season, and which is pretty much in and around 30 games, I'd say, which is a manageable number. And they do, however, need him to win just over half of those games and steal some extra points and a few others, a sticking point to the Islanders' success this past season. At 10-17-2, a reversal of those numbers, approximately one extra win a month for the team, a tough pill to swallow upon reflection, would have put them bumper to bumper with the Washington Capitals for the second wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference. That's not too big of an ask for the veteran goalie, who helped get the Islanders to back-to-back Eastern Conference championships, with a bigger workload than what would be expected of him next season. But again, with a lighter workload and a revamped defensive corps, perhaps he can get back to form and elevate the Islanders once again, because it's not really likely that they're going to find a replacement for Varlamov. There's been a lot of talk about trading Varlamov, who sports a modified no-trade clause and his $5 million cap hit to bring in a forward. That's definitely low-hanging fruit for Lamoriello to consider, though he's been adamant for months that Varlamov is an important piece to the Islanders. He basically said that he's important to the growth and maturity of Ilya Sorokin, and everyone is always looking for goaltenders, and you don't give up a goaltender to make another position better and make a bigger hole. You can make these splashes in the world, but you have to look at the big picture, as per Lou Lamoriello in March. Lamoriello recently doubled down on those comments when asked about sticking with Sorokin and Varlamov as the team's tandem. That's my feeling, Lamoriello said at the 2022 NHL Draft. I've said it from day one, and I feel that way today. End quote. Even if Varlamov's $5 million cap hit is difficult to swallow, who could the Islanders trust more than him to reach a record of, say, on the low end, 17-10-4? Is it worth overpaying for the insurance of a Varlamov, or should Lamoriello roll the dice on a $2 to $3 million goalie while saving a few million against the cap? The latter doesn't seem worth it considering what we know Varlamov can do when healthy. If Sorokin managed an identical record and Varlamov could pull off a 17-10-3 record, or 17-10-4 record in 31 starts, that would give the Islanders 98 points, which is pretty much right in the mix. Entering the final year of Varlamov's current 4-year, $20 million contract, you can imagine he'll be raising his game for the next deal, and the Islanders need him to do so regardless of the motivation if they plan on making the playoffs. A full offseason to recover from his injury and refocus can make a huge difference for the 34-year-old netminder as he tries to return to form. Thank you guys for tuning in, and have a wonderful day.